How's that background? You guys like that couch?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Here,
yeah.
1 second.
Nice.
Look at this guy.
Ross, do you guys like that pattern?
We got Trent, the billionaire podcaster, with his professional background.
Yes, that professional backdrop.
The gaffer tape there at the top.
Yeah.
We can see it's
No, honestly, I could get with the box spring though.
Hey.
That's my favorite one.
Welcome to Uncle Touchy's basement. Yes, sir.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 265 of the CAMcast.
Hey!
Podcast that is just all sorts of star-studded this evening.
Yeah.
We'll get to them in a minute, but I am Mike, dear leader, Doc Taste, leader of men, herder of cats, and I am joined, as always, by the one, the only, the good Colonel Eddie Dean himself, the chairman of the boards, Zack Lords.
I'm not in your basement, so.
Nope. Oh, damn. All sorts of dankness going on.
What's that? You know what?
No.
I'm no more. I'm out. Bye.
Okay, bye. He's still kicking around. He is the shadowy billionaire himself. It's Trent from Sandy. Trent Bray.
Hello. Ahoy hoy.
Sandy.
And then joining us for his biannual court-appointed podcast recording session.
Weren't required.
God, I mean, all sorts of F1 news has been happening, and it's been like pulling teeth to get him on here. It is Pizza former dad,
Uncle Touchy.
Uncle Touchy himself, Brandon Christiansen.
Hey!
Live from the garage.
In the garage. Just got done detailing a few of my babies.
Oh, yeah, you know.
I miss our weird, awkward hugs where you go for a little too long and a little too deep.
Oh, I've still been practicing on the full body pillow, so don't worry about it. It's as creepy as it sounds.
Wow.
Next time I see you, I expect a full Brandon hug.
Wow. All
yeah,
right.
Get ready.
Oh,
No, yeah. We're not quite there yet. We're not in full. We're still 50 people or less here in Utah, right?
yeah, something like that.
I think so. So yeah,
Anyway.
once we get to 100, Zach, then you're in business.
Well, he's leaning back, enjoying his newfound freedom in the midst of the apocalypse. It is the man who took your government money and wasted it on an education, and it came here. It's Luke Dreyer.
Yep, glad to be here again.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, nice to eat you.
God,
Ooh.
that is the correct response. And also joining us, somebody who actually has some skin in the game from our longtime sponsor, Steady Broke Clothing. It's Tommy.
Hey,
Hey, there
hey,
it
you know,
is.
this is the first time I've had carbonation in a long time.
Well,
Just for
welcome
this show.
back.
Is
you.
Trent being a bad influence on you?
I'm not gonna throw him under the bus. I am taking a test right now, so if you all have to be quiet for a little bit.
All right, yeah, we'll go ahead and be quiet for you. The teacher doesn't
Oh,
come
thanks for
around and
having me.
get angry with you.
I appreciate you guys inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, no problem.
I did
Anytime,
feed
buddy.
him, at least. You know, he at least got some food, so it's not slave conditions here.
Yeah, thank God. That would just be that'd be a real terrible precedent to set. This podcast.
You did just lock him in your pink basement, though. And that actually, then when I
Wow.
say that, I was like,
Wow.
that can mean something else.
Wow. Well,
More like a crawl space, I would say.
Does it smell fishy in there? No, okay.
Yeah.
It depends on where. It depends on where you. Can I speak English today?
Nah. Yes.
can you?
I have no idea. But
No.
I heard fishy smells, and it depends on where you smell the yoga mat.
Oh, God.
Damn. Well, go ahead and follow us on social media. We're at CamAutomag on the lot of them. And get this podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, rate, review, subscribe. I mean, all you non-essential motherfuckers are out on the roads. I know this because you people were doing 60 in the fast lane today on my way home from work. Appreciate that. Really hope you're listening to all 264 prior episodes of this as you're doing it, because that's really the only thing that's going to save you from my wrath. Head over to Patreon, patreon.com/CamAutomag. That's where you go to support this, keep this train a-rolling. Any dollar amount is greatly appreciated. We thank you. But $5 a month is the magic number that gets you access to these weekly live streams of the podcast recording. Get you the podcast a day early at least. Sometimes I post at night of because, I just got it done and I want to enjoy my Wednesdays off. So, there's that. Also, bonus content, and occasionally I'll just randomly send you something in the mail if you give me your address. So, there you go. Patreon.com/CamAutomag. And today, my fresh new Cam hat showed up.
I'm jelly. I'm super jelly. Mine is getting used.
Oof, yeah. Every once in a while, you just got to reload. Just got to grab yourself a new one. It's available over at CamAutoswag.com. That's where you go. Ah, there it is, Luke.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
Got to keep it fresh.
You gotta. Yep, CamAutoswag.com is where you go to get all your official Cam merch. And since we're bearing down on summer, it's time to get yourself a hot person summer ready. Get yourself the new Cam backpack, the flip-flops, and the shorts. Just stunt on people at the gym or pool or liquor store or wherever the hell it is you're wearing this stuff. I don't care so long as you're wearing it. It's available over at CamAutoswag.com.
Because you guys aren't all ready to be dripping in that hot boy swag.
There it is. There it is.
Hey, Tom, if you want me to, I can do the same thing for you. I can make up a fun slogan for you as well.
Well, we need to. We'll work on that. We're working on that.
I'll text you.
Yeah, there we go. I could have sworn.
I've already got one. He's got even ramen can't fix this, and you can't top that one.
You really can't. If you are budget conscious and in need of some quality threads, head over to steadybroke.com. We'll follow steady.broke on all the social medias. It's Tommy's company. They've been a sponsor since damn near day one here. Put a bunch of their awesome stuff in your cart and use coupon code CAMAUTO15 at checkout to save 15% on your entire order. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. Steady Broke.
Absolutely.
Here we
I'd
go.
say he's been a sponsor almost against his will.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah, even ramen can't fix that either.
Damn.
No,
Nope,
I'm happy to sponsor the podcast. I longtime friends with everyone, and I love the message that we're spreading here.
Oh, yes. The message of shenaniganry and lack of professionalism. That's what we're here
Right,
for.
I
mean, what? We've got you at... I'm in my basement surrounded by a mattress and a box spring. Trent's got you locked away in some sort of pink playpen. Brandon's in front of a wall of failure.
Beautiful.
That's my bed.
Yeah,
That
there we
doesn't
go.
help.
We're seeing where the magic may or may not happen.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should move. I should move my my Fast Pass poster from there to there.
You should... I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But just telling you, listen.
Well, the Fast Pass posters sit above the bed because
Okay.
it's a Fast Pass. It's the whole podcast. I'm done. I'm out. I know it's a great one when the whole podcast stops.
Yep.
Like,
And simultaneously shakes our head in disgust. Just
I watched Trent shake. I watched
Action.
Tommy shake. I watched Brandon shake.
Well,
You have a skill that none of us have, Zach.
Yeah, yes, you do.
That's what I'm here for.
And AJ gets a zinger in.
Yes, he does.
I don't want to know about any of the magic happening in Zach's room.
Nor do I.
From across the country.
Thanks, AJ.
Anyway, tomorrow is Tuesday, or yesterday if you're listening on the day this releases, and on Tuesday we get together on Twitch and we do some sort of fun video game shenaniganry. This week, again, we're going to be playing Rocket League because, hey man, our incompetence at car soccer knows no bounds, and it's even better when we get drunk and do it. So head over to twitch.tv/CamAutoMike to watch me and Joey and Jackson for some fun reason.
Why?
He came in and to be honest, him and AJ were really carrying the team last week. They really were.
I am so sorry.
No, he was good. He was good. So, yeah, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. Watch us play Rocket League for a couple hours on Tuesday. Help keep the fires burning until we can all get back to the track and start doing more car stuff. So, there you go. And then real quick, I do want to just say a whole bunch of happy birthdays and we can get into catching up with people. So happy birthday to the aforementioned AJ Glassmacher.
Happy birthday, AJ!
Yep. Also, happy birthday.
He's watching
to,
live now.
Yes, he is. Happy birthday to Zan, Joey's better half, Jorge Aquero, Nicholas Silva, Adrian, Randy Lamb, Ben Allred. Oh my God, there's a kitty on my screen. Basim Hajali, Zach Collins, JJ Asquig, Tony Iarosi, and the motherfucking Sen Samurai himself, Kit.
Big
Send
week for
it.
birthdays.
The man who shows up and makes any of our streams wildly inappropriate, borderline offensive.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Borderline? No, he just jumps right over offensive.
Just
doesn't
with
care.
both
in.
feet. But anyway, happy birthday to the lot of you folks. All right, guys. Well, let's do the
Say
thing.
bye, Chance.
Oh, bye, kitty. See ya. I miss you
He'll show
already.
up later, I'm sure.
Good. Good.
AJ, I'm happy your shoulders are sore.
From carrying the team the whole night. Yep. So
Excuse me, COVID. Apologize.
it's all right. Well, you're not in my basement, so I don't care.
Wait!
Excuse me. Oh, where's my face mask at?
Anyway, so how's everybody been since last we spoke?
I'll go first before Zach does.
I was going to let you go first.
He was going to let you. This is what you do to our son. How dare you?
Zach's my dad, okay?
Tommy and I have very reluctantly and not very successfully started working on taking apart the Viper. And the moderate success we've had is due to him. So thank you, Tommy.
He's being very nice. All I've done is look at the sockets and see which one fits.
That's a really important role. If you don't have someone to do that, like you're just lost.
Well, the best part is if it doesn't come off, you just have to find where it's hugging. Find the size. I don't know what we disconnected. I'll be honest. Full disclosure.
Man,
We're close to where we need to be.
did you have to hammer a socket onto anything like we have done before in your basement or in your garage there, Trent?
Fortunately, no. We did have to make one run to Harbor Freight.
Okay.
But Tommy did get doused in fuel because he did remove a fuel line while I was cooking dinner. So yeah.
Yeah, the fuel rail that normally has fuel in it.
Oh, really?
You don't say.
You got to tell them about the discount we got over at Harbor Freight, Trent.
Oh yeah. We had to get a thinner wall socket than we already had. We had a thin wall socket, but apparently it wasn't thin enough. And went down to the Harbor Freight and got the 20% off coupon, but apparently it didn't apply to the socket. So it applied to the magnet that I bought.
We bought a telescoping magnet.
There you go.
Yeah. And turns out I already have multiple magnets. But we got 60 cents off. So
Nice.
We saved a pretty penny. It was $3.99 before the discount.
Nice.
And he had a better magnet than the one we purchased. It had a flashlight on it.
It's true. Didn't even use it. Haven't opened it yet. So
Man.
It's a great stocking stuffer right there. Not to spoil it.
I look forward to getting that from you as I thought about you present.
Yeah. It's like, hey, just found this. Merry Christmas.
Oh, I know you need this in your life.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Like-
just so you know,
Yeah.
you're expecting that for Christmas now.
Fantastic. I look forward to it with glee and joy.
Just know that we got 25% off.
Yeah.
So I did something fun, or I made somebody happy, which was super fun. Getting to teach somebody to do donuts is always fun. And the Tacoma with a locker makes it basically foolproof. So teaching the female friend to do donuts was a good time.
I forget you have a female friend.
I do.
Congratulations again.
Yeah.
And we went camping. It was a good time.
Good. And
Oh,
you know
nice.
what? Ever since I've got to say this publicly now.
She might be watching. Be very careful there.
No.
No. Say it.
Oh God.
Say it.
Oh God.
Do
No,
it.
please, no.
If you're out there, Zach's
no.
lady
Do it.
friend, please make yourself
God.
known.
Oh.
Zach, I think of you a lot.
Wow.
And
At the time
suddenly I
that
feel
you
sorry
bought-
for Trent.
Hold on. Give me two seconds.
Hold on. Oh no,
Oh no.
What did you
it's
do?
anticlimactic now. Like,
So
Going
wait.
for that 3-minute ride.
Oh,
Hey.
yes.
So wait,
So-
do you think of him more because you can't have him? Is that why?
No, it is not that
okay.
at all. It is the fact that he bought a clean white Tacoma the same time a neighbor down the street bought a clean white Tacoma.
nice.
And so I see it every single day, and I'm like, oh, it's Zach. No, that's not Zach.
Oh.
So you get thought of a lot, Zach.
Every time I see a white truck with like what looks like yours, I think of, oh, is that Trent? But it's never you, and I'm always
There
kinda
was a
sad.
time where we used to see each other on the road a lot.
It was like this every day for like 2 weeks. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. But those days are now behind us.
Yeah, sad. Well, so that was my weekend. Teaching a girl how to do donuts in my truck was fun.
Nice.
You want to teach me how to do donuts?
Absolutely.
I won't go camping with you, but
I'd go camping with
Yeah.
you, but
Damn.
like,
All
just us
right.
two. Can we bring Trent too? Because he thinks about you a lot.
I'd be okay with Trent. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think you'd do a whole weekend with me, but I'd be down.
I'll be the
Creepy
small
old man. Hold
spoon.
on.
I'll be the small spoon. I don't care.
I'm a great
Oh.
big spoon, so like it would work out just fine.
We'll just order it, do it in order of size, whatever, you know.
I've got a trailer. I'll just.
Are
stay in
you
the trailer.
are you inferring a human centipede style of cuddling?
I'm just gonna go ahead and stay my happy ass in this basement.
You
human.
gotta stack it just right, otherwise.
Yeah.
Why won't it read?
Nah, but it's not reading. The cuttlefish. Anyways,
I'm done derailing this.
Oh, thank
I made
God.
my daily driver louder, which is great because I don't drive it anymore on the daily.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Nailed
sounds
it.
great. All the Wookiee sounds you want out of that VR now. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. I think we should all take a moment and give Luke a round of applause for graduating.
Yay!
Congratulations, Luke.
Congratulations.
And no, I'm not getting a damn doctorate.
That's not worth it.
I'm gonna do a drive-by graduation for you.
Yeah,
COVID style.
Perfect.
Okay, but I'm
everything's
gonna-
been canceled.
Well,
Me too, but mine's gonna be a drive-by mooning. It's just
I'm
the
just
car will
imagining.
stop.
I'm just imagining you trying to do it by yourself. Just like, keep the car moving.
I've done that. It is not safe. It is not safe. 82 Corolla. I did
Ooh.
that in an 82 Corolla, 4-door,
Do you-
automatic.
Do you have a moonroof in your Passat?
ah,
That's upper crust right there. That's highbrow humor, Trent.
that is. That's oof.
Bring it.
We're down here. He's up here.
And yes, I do. And I'm gonna moon the crap at you.
Perfect.
It'll be the first time I've seen you in years because you were always out buying those cigs, you know.
Yep.
True.
Throwing that tobacco, overthrowing some third world country.
I think
Also
the last
true.
time I saw you, Brandon, you were riding a beach cruiser in the IKEA parking lot.
Yeah.
You remember
was,
that?
Yeah, that was I think the last IKEA meet too. I think
It was.
maybe
And
I
that
think
was
that's
probably about
when they gave us the boot. Yeah, that 7 years ago.
Yeah, my pants were a little skinnier then. I remember that.
Yep. Oh,
I remember that. That's about 25 pounds ago for me.
That's good. Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too. I'm right there with you.
yep. Man, we could just reminisce all evening, but
Oh, yeah.
we do have me and Trent put some stuff in the agenda, and I think we would like to at least talk about some of it.
There's a
Can
fair
I
bit of
raise my
news.
hand and say something?
Yes, Zach. What is it?
The female friend wants to be known that she watched all of that.
Good.
Oh, I
Good.
hope we were appropriate and complimentary, which I think we were.
She's not laughing at me, so I think we might be
It's-
fine.
It's impressive that she sat through that. So
Yes.
I
you've
would
got to
maybe
keep
be
her.
concerned that she isn't laughing.
So it's a good sign. Yeah. The fact she's still talking to you after this. But no, she knows how to do donuts now. So obviously
Yeah,
she's rad, and we fully accept her into this weird and awkward family of long and awkward hugs,
Yes.
showers. Anyways, yeah. Okay.
Gentle sniffing.
I'm
Anyway.
crying over here. I'm crying. I need a minute.
Anyway.
News.
To the news, shall we?
Good news.
Ah, yes. So Alpina is introducing the XB7.
But will the motor blow up like every other Alpina? Okay.
So-
Wow.
I don't know if I don't remember if it was this story or like since I don't have it pulled up, but somebody made the distinction of with the difference between Alpina and BMW M, and it totally just works for me now. BMW M is to go around the racetrack. Alpina is for the Autobahn. Like,
Oh.
that's
all right.
that's the differentiating factor. That's why they usually have an automatic, and they're more powerful, but it's meant to just
Yep.
straight line cruise.
Yeah,
And
that
so,
it was from Ronan Glahn, the author of this Autoblog article.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. One of the most important differences between Alpina and BMW M is that the former makes cars for the Autobahn, while the latter pedals machines that feel right at home on the Nürburgring. So, there we go.
Yes.
Wait, did you
So
read that
that's
article,
how they.
Trent?
That's how they get away with a X7 being an Alpina one.
There it is.
Yeah, but anyway, bunch of horsepower. So it's going to be based on the M50i model, which uses twin turbo 4.4 liter V8. Already comes with 523 horsepower, so I'd expect north of 600 for that thing. And then there's 3 rows, so you can get all the kids to soccer practice on time. Once soccer practice returns,
Yeah, once we get out of the apocalypse here.
Which,
Yeah.
depending on where you're at in Utah, we're kind of out of it already.
Yeah. And fun fact, the X7 is made in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So, there you go.
So is Alpina building them out of that factory, or are they being shipped back to Germany then coming back?
I'm assuming they're probably crossing the pond and then coming back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also assume that I have no idea.
It's very true.
I think that's what will happen, and I think it'll be reflected in the price that you will pay. That premium's going to be sweet little nugget to have
The double pond jump.
the Alpina badge on that thing. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they come out. I didn't see anything on pricing. Did you guys see anything with this?
No,
With this little land?
I think they are debuting it tomorrow. So basically, we'll have all the information tomorrow when people are listening to this, and we won't be current. So there's that.
And a fully loaded X7 is pretty much 6 figures
Over
right on the
100,
dot.
yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
100,000. So get ready for a
I
$30,000 to
assume-
$60,000 premium, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is trying to take on the Bentayga.
No, it's not that fancy.
Well, but it's like an entry level to that. Like I read it's probably more comparable to like a mid-range Range Rover and stuff.
I can see it closer to a Range Rover.
I'd be curious to
Levante,
see
yeah.
how it does against the Urus, the Uranus. Little speed check there. And the Uranus doesn't have a third row.
Well,
so-
but it's just an what's the SUV it's based off of? The 8
the X7?
Q8.
Q8. There we go. The Q8, the Tiguan or Touareg, and all that fun shit.
Yeah. It's basically all the VAG SUVs are all the same underpinnings. Yeah. Anyways. Cool. I'm not going to buy it, but that's cool.
Well,
Honestly, I wasn't big on the X7 until I heard the exhaust note on the M50i model. And I was like, oh, once those drop to like $40,000 next year, that might be interesting.
there you go.
Exactly.
So you get that last couple months of warranty and you're in business, baby. Well, speaking of other things that are dropping, Nissan. They have been
Hey-o.
sinking
Is that what's dropping?
like a
Segue.
fucking stone.
I mean, they're married to...
Thanks, Carlos Ghosn.
Yeah, I know, right?
Exactly.
It's not like
He can
Renault's...
Yeah,
They
he can
made a
escape
better spot.
anything except
It's not like it's two like well-to-do like put-together people in this marriage. It's a whole bunch of people bringing a whole bunch of problems
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
hoping it works.
Yeah, Renault's
Yeah.
staying afloat because the French government's the biggest stakeholder in them, and that's going to run dry one of these days. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, thank you, France.
Yeah.
Between 2018 and 2019, sales at Nissan fell, so they're gonna have to do what everybody does. Tighten the belt. Cut some things from the budget.
What a belt they're tightening.
Oh yes, to the tune of $2.8 billion in annual costs. That is what they are looking to cut.
So, I didn't want to mention this, but this is actually what I did my case study on for class.
So awesome.
Perfect.
And so this was the 2002 thing where Carlos Ghosn came over and took over everything, and to me, it seems like what they're doing now is nothing compared to what they did in 2002. Like, they were wasting about, I can't remember how many billions just in treasury fees.
Oof.
Like 60 to 65 billion. Actually, I've got my PowerPoint. But it was pretty crazy with the cross-functioning teams and everything that he came up with to make this work. And I was surprised at the number of factories that were mentioned that they were going to possibly close. Were they saying like it was about 12 factories or something in this? So
Yeah, 13 factories they're closing. And so kind of to sum up your story, though, Luke, are you saying the Murano Cross Cabriolet was not a smart financial decision?
Blasphemy.
Definitely not a smart financial decision.
Oh, come on.
When anybody sees them in the wild, they recognize them.
Brand recognition. There it is.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, like, the first time they closed down, it was 5 factories, like 3 of the manufacturing factories and 2 power plant factories. And what really caught my attention is in this article, they talked about their overall efficiency being at like 65%. In order for companies to make break-even points at this, they have to do about 80% efficiency. So they're just trying to barely get to the bare minimum.
Good God.
So I haven't read this article, and so maybe someone can give me some insight here. So I'm guessing we're not going to see a Z400 or a R36.
Tough
I
call.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's always possible, but they did cut the entire Datsun brand out of this. Like,
yeah.
Datsun was still around, in third
Yeah.
world countries like India and whatnot, but the Datsun's gone. Like, they're not going to spend another dime on that.
Yeah. Datsun's gone. Probably any fun future product is gone.
That's where I
So
think it'll be a
what
little
the
interesting.
Frontier-
So, like, the last time they did it, they got rid of like 20 plus platforms. And what we actually got out of that was they came out with the Z and came out with the R chassis all across the globe. So maybe Nissan will pull its head out of its ass and give us a decent vehicle again. But I doubt it. They're probably going to file for bankruptcy in a couple of years is realistically what's going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
aren't we on year 12 of the R35? Isn't it 12 years old?
Well,
It's been going for a while.
Isn't the Frontier on like 13 or something?
Yeah.
Or-
The Frontier is downright ancient.
Yeah.
and so we're going to see a new model year, 2024 model year Frontier that's the same vehicle.
No,
But it will have power windows.
Hey,
Oh.
don't talk about what you don't know about. They are debuting a new Frontier next year. It'll be out next year.
Oh, I only
Yes,
took
after
them.
16 years.
How big is the bed of
Wow.
the truck? How big is the bed?
I don't know, but they actually put a new motor in this year.
Oh,
for
boy.
1 year only in the old body style.
Wow.
They put a new 3.8 liter V6 with a 9-speed auto in there, like
Wow.
Hot damn.
this year, and it actually is. It's more efficient than the 4-cylinder that used to be in it.
Wow.
So,
Just about 10 years too late, but hey, good
Yes.
good on them.
Hey.
Good on them. Hey, they're catching up.
Perfect.
And-
Jeez.
and speaking of catching up, the story later on Nissan is they're getting them with the times and ditching the CVT.
Thank
Oh, finally.
fucking Christ.
Oh, yes.
They
The
just said
2021
CVT in that
Pathfinder.
specifically, or all of them.
So it only states that one specifically. However, so the 2021 Pathfinder, they're going to put a 9-speed auto in it, which is actually a different 9-speed auto than what's in the Frontier.
Interesting.
So, because of the motor with the way it's mounted and whatnot, it cannot use that same transmission. So they have 2 different 9-speed transmissions. To me, that tells you they've got to be getting rid of the CVT in pretty much anything that can fit this transmission, because I mean they're finally getting with the times, because I mean it was a great experiment, but it went on for too long.
I could say that a lot of their CVTs were crap, but the one in my Maxima was actually pretty good. That was about the only one I could speak highly of.
I mean, I would say my wife had a Rogue, and it was okay. It kept it in the power band pretty well for the fact that like it had 170 horsepower, which was underpowered for its segment.
That size.
And it did okay. Like it was adequate is how I would describe it. I mean,
yeah, that's kind of how I felt about my Legacy that had a CVT. It had about the same power, and it's like the engine was struggling to keep up with anything.
Yeah, just garbage.
Like, oh, tiny hill, $5,000.
Yay! And just to follow up, the first delivery of an R35 GTR in the United States was on July 7th, 2008. So current platform is 12 years old. Even the Audi R8 has a newer refresh, which is the second oldest supercar, if you will, in my mind.
Think about it. Frontier's going to be 16 years between refreshes.
Yeah.
Then there's, the R35, and then the very next year, right, is the 370Z.
Oh, yeah?
2009.
Titan's in the same generation, too.
Man.
Sheesh.
Nissan
Hey, we developed these things. Now let's use them for 20 years.
I think the Z...
It works in Mexico. Like you still have
the Sentra.
Mark IV.
Sentra until
a Mark IV
a couple
2 years ago, I think.
You can buy a Mark IV freaking Jetta with a refresh face there.
But wasn't that just because they didn't put anti-lock brakes on it?
Yeah, I think so.
Like they could have continued to keep making the B13 if they would have put anti-lock brakes on it. That's just insane.
Man.
Well, I hope they keep a Halo car. I think, a GTR, a new version of that needs to happen. I worry the Z's dead, though, or it's going to come back as some hybrid hypermiler. CRZ was or something. So,
yeah.
Hopefully
they can figure it out.
Develop some stuff like they did in the past, but we got a 20-year timeline going.
I loved my Z. My 350Z was freaking. That's why I made my Passat sound just like the freaking VQ. All the trumpets, all the
trombones.
That's all I hear. Anyways.
Well, moving on. Everybody needs a little bit of extra scratch to get through this apocalypse here, and major manufacturers / Formula One concerns are no exception.
I wouldn't call this company a major manufacturer.
I mean, like
how many
R&D, I would say.
Yeah, I mean
R&D,
yeah. I mean they do a bit more than some of these other people do.
How many cars do you manufacture a year, Zack?
Yeah,
Zack.
Jeez.
Sit and spin.
Damn. No, McLaren needs money, and unfortunately they could not secure a loan from the British government. So they are looking at doing something that has a lot of people rather shocked. That would be putting up some of their historic cars that are sitting in, I think they call it the Avenue or whatever it is, in the front of the
no, really?
front of Stoke, to secure the loan.
Yeah,
pool
they're
our money.
Offering up all their collateral there, and
Here's the thing, though.
I appreciate that they're doing it, though. They're trying to do something. They're not like another story we'll talk about here later about another car company needing money, but yeah.
But I mean, it's not anything new. Ferrari does this. Like the Corsa Clienti program, the majority of their XF1 cars are owned by private owners. Like they don't even own the majority of their own F1 cars, which is smart because someone pays them to then store that in the factory, and then they pay them to ship it out to whatever track the owner wants to drive it on with a full supported team. So it's like
I follow a couple of them on Instagram.
Yeah, it's an amazing program, but it's also just like Ferrari is so freaking smart when it comes to that because they make tons of money over that selling an ex-Schumacher car, than having it sit in their museum, maybe gaining a couple grand a month in well, not now, it's closed, but I mean before the virus, a couple grand a month in visitors.
It's a little bit different in that they're not like, letting people use these cars. These are their museum pieces.
That's true.
This is history. If
That's
they
true.
lose these because they default on the loan, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. And Ferrari doesn't sell the pinnacle cars. Like the car that Michael won his 5th championship with is in the museum owned by Ferrari, and it never goes outside. Or if it does, it's like, it's just on Fiorano and that's it. So.
And like their front garage or their front walkway is just even some of the back halls where these cars are stored, like it's just museum porn. They're just gorgeous cars. It makes a Pizza Dad's garage look like shit. I mean, there's Ferraris.
Whoa! What are you talking about? Hold on, wait a minute. I can't get to this fast enough. What? This? Oh, horrible.
Like your collection is pretty cool and all, but
how did you transport so quickly there?
Elevator. It's
okay. Didn't even
down.
Notice it.
Yeah,
it's almost like you just clicked a screen.
These are just daily drivers.
I think all the check engine lights blinded us for a sec.
Yeah, that's all.
Zing.
That's it. You're off the Christmas card list. Like,
you're not getting a Harbor Freight Magnet.
Hey, get one.
Hey. But I will say I worry about McLaren because unlike I think Aston Martin's in a worse position. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun.
Oh, for sure they are.
Aston Martin's way worse position than McLaren. But I mean, I don't know.
Aston Martin's hurting.
If Zack Brown is thinking about more than the F1, I think they'll come up with yet another variant of the P1 and charge $2 million for it and make $1 million on it. So I mean, they can get scrappy if they want to. So
they definitely can.
They're definitely doing the special edition thing, the Porsche way of trying to make some money. But
if you want a clock in the car, that'll be an extra $17,000.
Correct. That's the chrono package. Yeah.
They were speaking to the F1 thing though. They were the first ones to furlough their staff and executive pay. The drivers took a pay cut instantly. They were the first F1 team to do that. So they're definitely hurting.
Yeah,
I wish them the best because it will be cool to see some of these cars out at Pebble Beach and stuff, and some of the concourse and stuff. But also it is like you said, it is their heritage. It's that's what made their brand. You walk on it and you can see the lineage of what happened through their career and their steps they took to each one. And then but also does anybody really need 3 or 4 F1s parked next to each other and then a long tail and then a Gulf special? Really?
Yeah.
Well, we could all, fuck off, friend.
I mean, you kind of want all of those lined up. You want the Can-Am cars that Bruce McLaren drove and developed, and then the F1 cars that won championship after championship and established the legend of some of these drivers. And then the McLaren F1. You kind of want all of that as just yes, cool. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
we did this.
Yeah,
here's my resume in the form of a whole lot of pistons.
I can almost guarantee that a collector here in Utah will have one of those cars. If they end up doing that, I guarantee you one of them, I don't know which one, but will end up at least being owned by someone here in Utah.
We'll know soon.
Yeah. It may not be here, and I think they may be like Ferrari, right? They just own the rights to it, which is insane value.
But I don't see McLaren doing that. I could see McLaren being here's the car, take it. Well, if you want MSO done, call us and we'll do it. But or I also, this could be good for them because they could then MSO all of these cars and make just fucking shitloads of money because these cars are you can pay a giant MSO price for these cars.
Yeah. Just the Senna Prost cars. I mean, that's those two alone. You buy those two, put them in a little, recreation of the chicane at Fuji. Was it Fuji? It was Suzuka. Suzuka, sorry. Yeah.
You already own a couple long tail edition cars. Oh, you want your F1 painted the same color? Cool. Give us another $1 million and we'll do it.
I hope they make it out of it, and I hope the F1 season starts.
Yeah. which, don't worry, we've got a lot of F1 to talk about, but we'll
Yeah.
get there in a minute.
We'll get there.
But in the meantime, somebody who didn't make it out, Oregon World of Speed, unfortunately, shut down permanently.
Sad
Exactly.
panda.
Yeah, just because of victim of the virus. So Oregon's not sure
I was
when they're going
looking-
to be opening up.
I was looking at the articles to see when the auction date would be, chomping at the bit, you know. Maybe I could pick something up for a couple grand, and it doesn't look like that's happening. So
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
They're donating
Yeah,
all the stuff to other 501c's. So
So I'm a little confused. What is the Oregon World of Speed for people who don't know, like me?
It was something that actually just recently opened. Like
4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 or 5
Yeah,
years
it-
ago, yeah.
it wasn't
Article is
that long
kinda
ago.
shit. The article's kind of shit. There's no photos.
Yeah, the World of Speed Museum in Wilsonville, Oregon, temporarily closed as the coronavirus-related stay-at-home orders from local and federal governments were set into motion. Fortunately, the temporarily qualifier has now been removed. A statement posted to the World of Speed website notified fans that the museum is permanently closed.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at some of these photos now. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, which it's crazy to me. I mean, try not to get too political here, but like Oregon has, half the number of cases of COVID-19 that Utah does, and they've now extended like further out. Like they're just going to keep everything shut down for a while. So that's what kind of brought this on. Is they're like, there's no sign of us reopening anytime soon. So rather than burn through all this money, we're just going to shut down now, rather than shut down later after we've burned through the money
So
to help.
this might be a really dumb question here. Do they own these cars, or are these cars like hey, store my car in your museum type?
I'm sure it's a mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most cases it's the majority's owned by the museum, but there are some that'll, lend it for an exhibit or something like that. So it sounds like they're going to be passing them on to other museums and other
Because there's
companies.
a lot of money in here.
There's some cool stuff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad stuff.
Yep. And then while we're busy pouring one out, let's continue to pour one out for the American sedan. Ford Fusion production is winding down.
I'm not pouring one out, so it's a waste of liquor.
Damn.
What about pouring out a Diet Dr. Pepper? Would you?
There it
No.
is.
No. No,
Anyway.
You still wouldn't waste the Diet Dr. Pepper. All right.
It's a fusion, like cool.
But it's not the Fusion itself. It's the
Like-
fact that Ford's killed off all their sedans. Like this is
can't-
the end of an era.
Yeah, like the American sedan as we know it is pretty much dead. Like
All our
wait,
hopes
wait,
rest
we-
on the
we saw-
Charger now.
We still have the Malibu, don't we?
Do we? I don't know. I think
No, I think the Malibu's gone.
Yeah.
Hertz and-
hold on.
I think Hertz and Avis do. I
Yeah.
think they have exclusive on the 2020 Malibu. Ooh.
All right. Trent, continue through the story. I'm looking up to see if we still have the Malibu.
Anyway, so yeah, the last civilian car will be built July 21st. At least that's the plan as of right now. It keeps getting pushed back because the factories in Mexico are not open yet. But they stopped taking orders in February. Like that, they haven't taken orders for a while for these Fusions. They're still making a few police versions before they finish off the civilian cars. But it's basically our punishment for buying all SUVs is this all the sedans going away.
The saddest part of this is they had the Ford Fusion Sport, the all-wheel drive Turbo 6.
That
Yeah,
was
That was
cool.
a cool car. That's
we
like
could get the Fusion in the
that's a sleeper.
SHO, right?
You get
well,
the
that's-
Taurus SHO.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
the
the
Taurus
Taurus Fusion
SHO.
Sport. Yeah.
Fusion
but
Sport.
is-
380 foot-pound of torque.
Is
I mean,
Lincoln still making their Fusion-based vehicle?
No,
I
I
assume
think
not.
No, it's
Wow.
it's going to go away with
Oh.
the Fusion. Lincoln's
Well, is
moving
Lincoln
all
holding on to
SUV.
Indy? Well, did they? Yeah.
Oof. Well,
Okay, the Malibu.
it is still in production.
Oh, thank you.
Why am I happy about the
And
Malibu?
it'll
I don't
last
know.
Yeah, why are
till
you cheering for-
2021 as well?
Well, and I thought this died a while ago, but Chevy is still making the Impala.
What?
No, I think that dies this year. I
Oh,
think it was announced that that dies this year.
oof.
That's
Dang it.
Man.
So I can't have 20-inch blades on the Impala anymore?
I don't think
Yeah.
you would want to put 20-inch blades on
The
this thing.
final Impala rolled off the line February 27th, 2020.
Oof.
Oh, wow.
And well, you can still build and price a 2020 Impala on Chevy's website.
They still have them on the lot.
God.
That's why you
And-
can build them. Oh, we have 7,000. Yeah, go ahead.
And also, the Sonic sedan is still a thing you can get from Chevrolet.
wait,
Wow.
Yep. So there you go. The American sedan market is very depressing. Like,
wait, and do we have another one?
oh yeah,
I-
the
Hold on.
Nope.
News
Heavy
about the
Cruise,
Malibu.
maybe?
oh
Oh, the Malibu.
No, the Cruise is gone, isn't it?
Yeah, Cruise
yeah,
is
the Cruise is
Like,
gone. The Sonic is still around.
Yeah, I thought the Cruise died 2019, 2018.
The Malibu won't make the next generation, so it will hang around for a couple more years, but it's gone.
Man,
Its grave is being dug now.
it's a zombie car at this point. Well, and speaking of a zombie that has finally been put out of his misery, the Acura RLX is not going to survive past the 2020 model year. Was
The
outdated.
RLX is the smaller one, right? And the
No, it's
big
their
one.
biggest one,
This is the big one.
biggest Okay.
about the size of the 5 Series BMW.
Okay.
Yeah,
But the stupid thing is, they were front-wheel drive,
like every
unless you got the Sport Hybrid one,
which
and the Sport Hybrid was order only. Like from the beginning, you could not get one on the lot. Acura would not let you order one unless you had a customer name attached to it. And so it's like they were so super rare.
yeah,
Like,
I
Everybody
don't-
wants all-wheel drive in that segment now.
yeah, like I remember like when Acura started hitting everything with that super handling all-wheel drive, all their sedans. That was fun, and then suddenly it just disappeared.
Pretty much. Like
Yeah.
even the TLX, you don't get it. A surprising amount of them are front-wheel drive.
Well,
Yeah.
you could. What was it? When the NSX came out, you could get the RLX in that like crazy 3-stage, just like super deep red paint. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. It was like a $20,000 option. It was like
Oh,
absurdly
you're
expensive.
thinking the TLX. That's
Oh, the
their
TLX.
smaller one. Yeah,
Oh,
they had that PMC one that was hand built.
Yeah, and it had like that gorgeous like the price for the paint was like almost a quarter of like because it was like this crazy 3-stage and the
Well,
was like
it wasn't
6
just the
millimeters thick.
paint. Yeah, it was hand built. So it's like they took the TLX and then stuck it on an assembly line with the NSX. So they hand built it. They put that special paint on it, and that's where the $20,000 difference was.
Yeah, it was like absurd. I'd love to see one of those cars in the wild. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, the good. I mean, it's good riddance basically to me because they just didn't do anything with it. It wasn't that groundbreaking when they came out with it. Like I hate Acura's dual screen thing that they do. That's not a touch screen. And
Well, speaking of something that I don't want to see in the wild, Elon Musk wants something, doesn't he?
Oh God, well, Elon Musk wants a
He's
lot of
moving.
things. Apparently to Austin, Texas, a place that a few of us are familiar with.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Coda.
Yep.
Yeah, Tesla, they've talked about, finding their next factory. However, they narrowed it down to Tulsa, Oklahoma and Austin, Texas. But apparently they didn't really give Tulsa that much of a look. They just basically decided Austin's the way to go. So they haven't officially announced it, but it's basically they're looking at Austin is their only option.
I've heard Texas has given them quite the incentives to go there.
Oh,
Well, everywhere
not?
is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Oh,
bend
yeah.
over backwards for them.
Plus,
Yeah.
they've already given the WD-40 or whatever he named his child a full ride scholarship to Texas
Kyle.
University.
Fuck.
AE, what is it? Hachi.
Well,
Isn't it just a Hachi? AE, whatever.
A little baby ox cart.
Little, what's the
It's Kyle
86?
what it translates to. But I thought Kyle was going to go to university at Mars University.
Yeah,
yeah.
oxygen optional, I hope. Yeah.
God.
that'd be great.
Well, I made a Futurama reference. No one Futurama
Cat number
reference?
2
Oh, yeah,
showed
no.
up.
I got
Hey,
it.
kitty.
I got it.
Kitty.
Yeah, no,
This is Kit.
Hello,
Kit.
Kitty.
Say hi.
Wait, hold on. Is Elon
No.
going to be the Wong family? It's going to be the Elon of the Musk family.
No, I can't have him like
He's
branching Bugalo up there. I don't need that.
Well, Kylo's going to go to what, Kappa Kappa Musk or some shit like that.
Something. He's just gonna start his own fraternity because he'll be so profoundly unlikable that the traditional Greek system, which is full of profoundly unlikable people, will not
really
welcome him
is.
in.
Yes, it is. Oh
I'm
god.
kind of surprised Utah wasn't on the list. We love to just give tax money to all these companies.
Oh,
that
you
come here.
want to film here?
You would have to have
We'll pay
leadership
you.
that's capable of putting together a proposal for him, though.
Well,
I mean, we did it for Facebook. We did it for the NSA. That was an easy one
And
to
look
do,
how
I
well
guess.
that went.
Our
Yeah.
whole film tax system.
Yeah.
You want, yeah. Well,
Anyways,
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Removing Utah from this, this new factory, they're gonna expand the Model Y production and the Cybertruck production, and unsurprisingly, Elon's like, "Let's get this built now." Like
Yeah,
he
well-
wants 2020 to start building this thing. Like they haven't even
Man.
selected a site, and he's like, "We need to have this start to be built this year."
Kind of ruined his expectations on a building factory speed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Safety
he did it with
regulations,
a
we
tent.
don't have those. We'll build it in 2 months.
Fuck
Yeah.
you,
Did it
OSHA.
with
Suck
a
my dick
tent
from the
in
back. I'm building
California.
a factory.
Yeah, that tent thing was horrible.
But he did it in California, where they like have all the regulations. In Texas, it's like, yeah, just throw up a tent back there, and you're good. He'll get it done.
Am I the only one when they're in California and you're at a store and it's got that cancer sticker on every shelf and you're like, doesn't every fucking thing cause cancer now?
Tell us about that, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy.
Proposition 65. I think it's what it's
That's
called.
what it is. Okay.
Yep.
Proposition 65. It's on everything. I don't even care. It's on children that walk outside. I don't know what's going on.
Well, they do cause cancer.
I get random packages that say this may contain chemicals that cause cancer. It's everywhere. You're right though. I didn't
No
notice it
birth
till you
defects.
actually said something. Proposition 65. It's everywhere.
That was
actually
an
got a
open
notice
for about
on-
5 years.
Yeah.
Your
Incredible.
mail is just stamped with it on the outside.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
bills.
I'm here at Trent's, and I'm Proposition 65 in his home right now.
You got
Hey,
that sweet Prop
where's
65 tramp
got a
stamp.
sticker.
Where's your California mandated tattoo?
It's a tramp stamp. It's good.
You don't want to see it. I might
Don't
might
have
pull a
the
muscle
North
trying to
Star
show you where it's at.
It's branded to your ass.
Damn.
Yeah, they do that when they implant the microchip when you move there. You know, they give you the brand at the same time.
And my girl's name is Grimes.
Awesome.
Taking that parting shot before muting himself. I love it. Well, speaking of somebody who wants a shit ton of money,
Oh, don't we
Yeah,
all?
so this is what I was talking about with the McLaren thing. Like McLaren's like
great.
doing something. They're
Yeah.
trying to leverage what they have to get money, and then there's FCA is just like, give me money. Come on, Italian government.
It's just a spicy meatball. That's
Scusi.
all it is.
Scusi.
But
We need a
The
bigger
crazy thing-
meatball.
the crazy thing about this is 80% is secured by the public of
Yeah.
this loan that they're trying to get.
The
Of
Italian
$6.8 billion.
Italian public.
Billion.
We should clarify there. Not the U.S. public. They're going after
yeah, no.
Correct. Correct.
the
No,
hardest hit region in Europe. The public that's been hardest hit. That's who they want to pay for this.
Yep.
Billions and billions and billions and billions.
Fun fact, none of it will go to Ferrari. Ferrari's actually thriving right now as a company. Obviously, they spun off. They're
Yeah,
a
they
publicly
split
traded
off, yeah.
company, and they're killing it. They're trading at $162 a share. Any guesses on what Ford is trading at?
6 or 8.
It
One
was
six.
below $7 a couple of months ago, and that was like
Five.
their 10-year low.
$5.31 is what they closed.
Hey,
at.
I was close
Damn.
with my 4.
So
Damn.
Ferrari, who
Time to
produces
start buying in.
what? Not even 1% of Ford's total volume and annual vehicle production.
Wait, hold on. Can we see the reverse of this? Can Ferrari buy Ford?
No. But yes, maybe.
I mean,
Maybe. I don't know what their market cap
I was going to
is.
say the ending of Ford versus Ferrari ended too soon.
Ferrari buys Ford.
No, they could. Their market cap's $19 billion right now for Ford. That's it. 19 bill buys you a Ford.
I think we could pull that together. We just get some American public funding, and there we go.
Well, hey, FCA burned through $5.5 billion last quarter.
Wow.
So if they're getting funding, we can get funding to take over Ford.
Yeah.
And then we can bring back the Fusion.
yes.
Full circle, Zach. I like where your head's at. Buddy.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, the tooling's paid for. You might as well.
Yeah. And then we'll sell it to Mexico, and we'll make it for 40 years, and we're golden.
Nice.
Sweet.
Zach, that may be the smartest thing you have ever said on this podcast.
Selling something
And-
to Mexico?
We could do like a sublease agreement to Nissan, and there's the new GTR right there. We did it.
This
Wait,
is just
we did it.
This is the podcast of callbacks. Like
There it
this
is.
is just fantastic.
Am I just terrible because I want to bring back a Ranchero or an El Camino?
Yes,
Or
you are
we
terrible,
could
Lou.
sell
You are
the
terrible.
Bara in
I'll
the
take it.
Americas.
No. Horrible, ugly things. But cool.
Well, speaking about horrible, ugly things, maybe? I don't know.
Sure.
I'm trying to make a segue there. It wasn't really good.
Which story are you going with?
Yeah, man. There's a lot.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about like electric cars in general, but
All right.
Okay, so let's go with the Dyson one then.
that's probably more appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dyson revealed their canceled EV recently. It was going to compete against the Model X in that its SAT7 was an SUV, but it did have a 600-mile range. And the crazy thing is, Sir Dyson, who just came out this past Sunday, so yesterday, that he's worth $16.2 billion. But he invested $500 million of his own money into this to try and get this off the ground before he finally was like, all right, I'm pulling the plug. Like,
Yeah.
this is...
So I remember us talking about this in October, and the joke was, is it just going to be 4 Dyson balls? And then if you want an off-road version, they're purple.
Yeah, so if you look at it, it's
Thanks, Brandon.
there's
You
no
always count
purple
on you.
balls. I'm sorry. But they're saying it would have had to have cost over 150,000 pounds to break even. And
Yeah, because
that's-
weren't they toting some like bullshit battery technology that wasn't tested yet?
Well, yeah, that's what they were developing, and that's where all the cost was baked in.
hold up. They're planning to sell that technology to car companies now.
Geely, insert
Yes.
Geely here.
They are willing to let other companies collaborate with them, I'm sure, for a price to experience their proprietary battery technology. There we go.
There you go.
He's got to make that 500 million back. So
Let's do that loop thing again. Ford needs to do something with their electrical setups, and then they can give it to the Nissan Leaf while they're at it.
There you go.
Nailed it.
But here's the kink in that and the kink.
It was
Wait,
off the
hold on,
backboard
hold on,
loop,
hold
but
on,
I'll take
hold
it.
on,
It got
hold
in
on.
there.
Can I segue?
No.
Denied.
Brandon's still talking about it.
Well, I was just gonna say Ford and Rivian are bed buddies right now. So
So,
Yes.
do you know who
Very
needs
true.
EV technology right now?
what?
Ferrari.
You just had to try so hard to get that one in.
He had to. Shooter's mentality.
Hey,
keep
you
putting it
just
up.
put 100% of the shots you don't take. And I take
Very
all
true.
of them.
It's very
Wayne
true.
Gretzky, Michael Scott. Yeah. So Ferrari said they're not going to do a full EV. They'll do the hybrid thing like they did with the SF90 Stradale. But
LaFerrari. I mean,
yeah, LaFerrari, which technically doesn't go all electric. But anyway, they're saying the EV technology is not worthy of a supercar, let alone a Ferrari. That was their words. So they're saying they're above a supercar. Their words, but they will do an EV at some point as long as the technology's groundbreaking at the time. So like if they come out with like some crazy new battery technology or some new motor that is unbelievable, they will do an EV at that point. But as it stands, don't expect an EV, just expect hybrids from them.
I've heard rumors that Mr. Dyson's been spotted at the Ferrari factory. Just kidding. Hey, ooh, zing. No.
Yeah, but
I think
right?
to your point, I think the biggest area where EVs need to improve is the battery technology. I think, Luke, you can speak to this. You drive a battery or day. But it's like if they can figure out a way to keep the charge and have longevity, and then obviously the infrastructure still isn't there, in my opinion.
I'd have to agree. It's like I talked to a lot of people, kind of a bigger member in Utah Tesla owners. One thing about Teslas is you will not know every feature of that damn car because Elon has got so many fucking hidden features in it that it's ridiculous. But it's really interesting seeing how battery technology is evolving. I believe one big thing is I think for the Cybertruck is trying to get rid of batteries with cobalt. And as you always hear people talk about child labor from Nicaragua, or I can't remember what country it is.
I thought that we were pulling cobalt out of like the eastern India, Taiwan area.
One of those countries, yeah. It's not America.
There's a specific area where like cobalt's prominent, and they have child labor issues that are a big problem. I did notice that actually Tesla files a report of their responsible.
I think we're losing you, Luke.
Yeah, we're getting a little audio fade.
Try again. Does that work?
A little bit. You're still super quiet.
You've been coming in and out most of this podcast.
Try again.
There you go.
A little better.
Speak louder, like a big boy. So, there's a lot of people who talk about the child labor thing, even though mostly cobalt's harvested for cell phones and that. And Tesla actually does file a report to say how they're doing it responsibly. Canada is like a big supplier for rare earth metals, and obviously the big one we're going to deal with is China. China is taking over everything. Like, I read a couple of reports how they're buying into mines in Africa and that, so that they can monopolize everything.
They're building infrastructure.
Yes, they're buying into it.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're offering infrastructure and all that stuff in exchange for access to some of these things.
Yeah.
All the power.
But I don't know, like it is nice to see like one of the top car manufacturer brands, like one of the Halo manufacturer brands, like sticking to what we all love, which is gas-powered vehicles. And I remember that something it wouldn't do it in there. Okay, so I didn't read all this because I'm an awful podcaster here. But this is saying that they might do electric in their SUV. Someone help me here.
I mean,
no, what they're saying, what that's saying is that they said that they would never do an SUV, and now they're doing an SUV. Yeah. So they're going to come out with an EV. So
there's going to be an electric
matter
Ferrari.
of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
The GT4 Lusso EV is what we're going to see.
Yeah.
And then, what isn't it like the UK by, was it 2030, 2035, that
Paris.
They only want electric vehicles sold?
Paris will outlaw every gas engine within the city limits by 2030.
Yeah, Paris has done it, but I think Great Britain has something like that as well.
Wow.
Yeah, they keep pushing the date back from correctly. They've mentioned it a handful of times.
Just depends on the admin in power at the time.
Not get political, but where the fuck is Brexit? Just if they can't handle that, they're not going to be able to handle shutting down gas.
Hey, they've got bigger problems right now, Zach. All right.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yes, they have bigger problems aside from shooting themselves in the foot. So,
well, speaking about shooting ourselves in the foot, can we shoot all ourselves in the foot now with our mailbag?
Oh, okay.
Or did I skip something? Sorry.
You didn't.
Okay.
No, when you just said mailbag, I'm like, do you know something that I don't? Because the mailbag has been awfully quiet.
Well, I don't know. I just it was segment 3. It said mailbag. I was just reading the next thing in the fucking list.
Yeah, no.
I told you I'm not good at this shit.
You're getting better. You're getting better. No, so
so go to CAMautomag. Wait, no, that's later, right?
I mean,
Go ahead, Pizza Dad, say it.
It's a mailbag at cambagautobag.mailbag.com.
there it is.
.netscape.
Yes.
Mails only.
/AOL.
/ Lycos.
Yep. Nailed it.
Only get it through was it DuckDuckGo?
We're built on an Angel Fire platform.
Yep.
Oh.
Have you seen the clip art though?
I haven't heard that in about a decade.
Everything's MS Paint these days. If you're not MS Paint, you're nothing.
You leave
Oh,
my
yeah.
paint skills out of this.
How dare you?
Oh, I derailed that so quickly.
You did, but it was good. Because
That's what happens
tangents-
when you put a square peg in a round hole, Zach.
Hey, I'm really good at doing that. You just got to hit it harder.
Oh, man. Your poor new girlfriend. Anyway.
Wow.
I'm done. I'm out. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Hey, what an appropriate thumbnail right there. The dumpster fire over Mercedes.
Yes.
Classic.
The
That
nice thing is she stopped watching about 20 minutes ago. So
Oh, perfect. See, I knew that.
Or
Don't
I'm
worry
going to get
about
like 30 texts here in a second, and I'll
You're
let you know.
fine.
Oh, God, I'm hoping you get
text.
text.
I'm joking. She knows it.
God, I hope you get text. That would just that would take this episode from good to great.
Oh, she's been texting me the whole entire time. She was like, "Can you explain to me the CVTs?" I'm like, "We need a lot more time than over text."
And a whiteboard. You need a whiteboard.
I need
for
a
that one.
whiteboard. Just watch this engineer explain video. You got it covered.
Yeah.
So a CVT is rubber bands and hatred. There you go.
And magic.
Oh God.
And witchcraft.
Why
Not the good
did I expose myself to you guys? I knew this was gonna be bad.
And why did you phrase it that way?
Yeah. Why?
'Cause
Why
you
did
just continually set them up. They're just like softballs. You just keep throwing me softballs that are
just
just
right over the plate? We're just gonna
Yes.
take him out.
home runs.
Anyway.
I want you to continually expose yourself to me, Zach. Anyways.
He's Uncle Touchy for a reason.
Hey,
You don't
From-
text me anymore at night. I miss our late night texts.
from 6 feet away. I know. I haven't really much to text about. I'm sorry. I'll live a more exciting life when this is all over.
Yes, with the Wookiee Mobile.
Hey, so do we have things to talk about?
I mean,
Yeah.
we could talk
That
to our
aren't my
guests about
pathetic
what
love
they've
life.
been doing. I mean,
Tommy, what are you driving these days? That's what I want to know.
I think everybody is wondering what I'm driving nowadays.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm driving nowadays, guys? I'm driving a Honda Element.
Yes.
Still,
I'm not even kidding.
ready
2008
for
manual
that.
transmission.
still
Those
rocking
are
the
rad.
Element. Hell yes.
Those are rad. Because
It's,
you had a Prius.
No, I never had a Prius,
But
but that was
you had a Prius.
no.
No.
You
Oh,
remember Prius?
no.
Are you,
I had
are
a
you
Focus.
Well,
confused?
so did you buy it after?
Are you confusing
confusing
Tommy
him
with,
with-
other clothing magnate friend of the program, Zack?
Yes.
Okay, I can see it. I can see how you could do that.
I was going to say you could have been confusing him with the other Asian Prius owner that's in the car community, Randy Doe.
Randy
that,
Doe.
drives
His,
a Prius.
his
Well,
Prius is awesome.
Well, and there's the Volkswagen Kevin, Anthony, that
Yeah.
one guy.com, who has a Prius as well. So yeah, sorry. I thought that was just part of moving to LA or the OC, Orange County, was
Doo-doo-doo.
pre-
Yep.
a prerequisite was to buy a Prius, I thought. I'm sorry.
It's I actually considered it. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
I had
Yeah.
to fit in.
Yeah.
Had
No,
to.
I bought the Element when I was here. So
Yeah.
I've had that thing for what, 5-6 years.
Yeah, you've had it for a minute.
I've had it for a minute. It
Yeah.
runs amazing. I had to fix the air conditioning. That was
Well,
about it.
Yeah. Gotta
Hey,
make sure that's
It's
working.
great for the beach. We throw the seats up in the back. I toss all of the stuff in. We're off
It's
to the
like-
races.
It's like a
Nice.
minivan.
Hey.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we all
Yeah.
love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's perfect.
It was an enjoyable drive to the South Coast or Cars and Coffee. What was it?
Yeah, it was the South County, Orange
Mm.
County, South Orange County Cars and Coffee.
Which was
Which is huge.
fantastic show. Lamborghinis everywhere.
Mm.
None of that Ferrari crap.
They have everything though. All makes, all models.
the umbrage in that face.
Russell.
Yeah. We're gonna screen capture that later.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, we will.
So that's what I've been driving.
Nice.
And I have a JDM Honda badge in the front,
Yes.
As one does.
and JDM fog lights.
You got visors too, right?
I have
Proper.
I have visors,
Proper.
and they're OEM. They're not
Ooh.
eBay. I had to dish out the extra $25.
No, gotta. So you gotta know when and where to spend the money, and that right there is when and where to spend the money.
It's interesting in Orange County, depending on what area you're in, because there's a section where there's Subarus, then there's a section where there's Hondas, and then it's just supercars.
Huh.
It just depends on where you want to be.
Nice.
But
Interesting.
you never see the meets really clash. It's always no one,
Those 3 segments.
So I roll up to all kinds of meets in my Honda Element. I don't care.
Well, that's the attitude.
I don't
You
think they
ever
care.
check
either.
out 7 stock there?
Oh no, I haven't actually. I haven't
Amazing
lot
show.
heard a lot about it.
Yeah, thousands of rotaries. About the only time you can tolerate it.
And everybody asking for a ride home.
Yes.
Hey, you guys give me PTSD for my shop. I'm tired of towing RX-7s.
I was about to say, like, somebody from your shop is going to come and beat me up for speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait
no,
a minute.
We're all very aware of the truth.
Oh,
There's
good.
a reason why we have a winch inside the trailer.
Good.
You should put an RX-7 badge on the winch. Just do that there.
No, then it will break. You can't do that.
Oh.
It says Honda for a reason.
Heyo. Zing. Well, that's awesome, Tommy. I remember when I first met you, I don't know if it was your second or your first Integra.
What
Yeah.
color was it?
Do you have a yellow one? Didn't you have a yellow one?
Yeah, it was a theft recovery Type R.
Type R. I remember
It
that.
had a GSR motor in it.
Didn't you have a black one too, or was it white?
It was white,
White. Hmm.
and and then it went through a full ricer stage. It had a Black Widow body kit with Lamborghini doors.
Mhm.
As one does.
Yeah.
And then when I decided that wasn't cool anymore, I did the 98 2001 conversion in the front with a Type R lip,
Mm.
Nice.
Type R wing. None of it matched. All the parts were off whatever I could find.
Yep.
And then I sold it and got the theft recovery ITR, which was
Nice.
just a GSR basically.
Yeah.
Hey,
Still a cool car though, and now you can
RSX
sell it
is-
for like $60,000.
Yeah, the RSX was fun too. I had that for a minute. I actually really missed the interior of that car.
Tommy has a habit though of selling cars just before they take off in price. So like the ITR, and then his Supra. He had his Supra Turbo.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I think you made a little money on it, but
I did,
not
but not much.
a lot.
The owner of that car has actually done some really cool stuff to it. Single turbo, boat motor.
Was it an automatic?
It was
an
an
automatic,
automatic.
Yeah, I remember that was an automatic.
And I think JR from Utah County just tuned it. It went back home to Wyoming where he lives, the owner, the new owner.
Nice.
I think he's having issues with it, not because of JR's tune, but I think he pushed it a little too far. I don't know much about it, so I don't want to get into that. But
Right.
I think it's up and running now,
Nice.
Nice.
pushing a lot of power, is what I heard.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
that car too. Also sold that before I should have because I missed it.
Yeah.
It would have been a great car in California.
One of my favorite cars you owned and sold. I think it's still around. It's the Bug Eye race car. That you,
Oh, I love that car. Yeah.
Doesn't Brandon Milner or who has that now? I can't remember.
No, he's always had his. I sold it to a guy named Lewis in Orem. I think he parted it out. I don't know who has the actual
The car, the
the
chassis.
car now, the chassis with the cage in it. Maybe he stripped the cage out of it too, but
Probably if you
it's got an
parted
auto
it out.
power 6-point. It was fun. It was a fun
That car was cool. That was a rad car. Yeah.
It was a very cool car for the amount of money that was into it. It was like that was
Best.
a really good car.
Yeah.
It was a budget build and it was fun.
Yeah. Bang for the buck. That's what that thing was.
Yeah.
Good time. So it's good to have you back, Tommy. We need you back in Utah. Or
Yeah.
we need to
Yeah,
come to California.
Yeah,
In fact-
anytime. If you guys come visit, like Trent's come a few times, and we've gone to a lot of car meets out there. We've had a lot of shenanigans actually. We've had a lot of fun times with Turo.
Yeah. And the
Yes,
police.
I
you
was supposed
have.
to be out there.
Yeah,
I was supposed to be out there earlier this month for an event, and that obviously got canceled. And we were talking about the Turo options at the time, and it never got to the point of booking it because things just shut down. So
Mm.
Yeah. Well,
could have been good times, but the show's still on in August, right?
Yeah, they postponed it. They just moved it. I think it's August or October, possibly. I don't remember.
Either way, we'll make it happen. I haven't missed one yet.
All right.
Cars and copters, because it's Southern California, so
Yeah,
it's not just cars. It's your cars and your helicopters.
Yeah, so if
your
you can't-
Koenigsegg's and
Oh,
your
yeah.
helicopters.
Yeah, it's the Catalina wine mixer. Is what
Yeah,
it is.
there it is.
It's the
If you can't pull
fucking
up every
Catalina
guy,
wine mixer.
you pull up in your helicopter. It's,
Yeah.
whatever one you want to bring, your helicopter or your Veyron, whatever.
Yeah, boats and hose. Yeah.
Exactly.
Boats and hose.
Yep. Well, Luke, OG super fan, guy who made us some artwork back in the day that I'm still struggling to figure out how to hang it up, but still floating around. Don't worry. Yeah, you're joining us because you're number one, a loyal listener, but two, you finally graduated.
Yep.
Use that GI Bill money for questionably good use.
Yeah.
Get yourself a degree. What were you getting that degree in?
So I got my master's degree, and it's in management and leadership.
Something we could desperately use here, so please feel free.
So I like dealing, and by management, it's not me being in charge of people. I hate dealing with people. It's more dealing with like work processes, continuous process improvement, quality standards, and that.
Nice.
How do you feel about an unpaid internship?
Actually, for work right now, I am an intern, but I am getting paid. So.
Well, damn it.
Yeah. No thanks.
If you need another line on that resume,
Come on.
that's a call.
We can help you pad the shit out of it.
Yeah. Thankfully, actually, for getting this degree, I believe I have the career that I'm going to happily retire in.
Nice.
Yeah. So last year, I left the tool cribs on Hill Air Force Base. Total shit show there. Horrible management and nothing but drama queens in the program. And so
Shout out to
after
Jake Morrow.
Actually, it wasn't the mechanics I dealt with for the most part that weren't too bad. I actually never ran into him there. I was kind of surprised because I supported practically every building and area for tools when it came to that crap. So after like 2 years of applying, I finally got selected for, it's called a Copper Cap intern. I start out as a GS7, but in 3 years I'll be a GS12. And so I've been doing that for about a year now. I'll be GS9 and then goes to 11 and then 12. I'm a contract specialist. Fancy way to say is I buy shit for the government.
Nice.
Yeah. And I've learned how big of a headache that is because politicians have made the rules for my job.
So
Guys.
you live and die by RFPs, huh? Is that?
Yeah, so I have to fall under the Federal Acquisition Regulations, aka the FAR. Yeah, it sucks.
That does not sound fun.
Yeah, I've been told that I'm going to probably be learning for like 6 to 8 years my position before I feel comfortable.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. And so while I was getting this master's degree, I actually ran into people that were working on base in the contracting area and gave me some points of contacts in that. And so through the degree, I did get this career, and I'm quite thankful.
Nice.
Yeah. Then what else did I do? Actually, about the same time last year, I guess we could call it a midlife crisis or good thing. Picked up the Model 3 Performance. It's been a great vehicle.
Yeah.
Simple daily that works great for me. I could have probably honestly got away with the standard model, but
Come on. Anytime you can get a performance variant, you gotta.
yeah, the funny thing about that was, so you know how they had the tax incentives and that going on?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was June of last year. At the end of June, they were running out of, I think it was the $3,500 tax credit. And on a whim, I had a VA appointment, just went to the Tesla dealer, and I was like, I've always wanted to look. What are you interested in? Long-range Model 3, maybe? We don't have any of those, and the tax credit's going away, but if you took delivery before the end of the month, we can you can get that credit. We got a performance model in the specs that you want, color and interior, and I was like, son of a bitch, I'm in. Best way to put it.
Nice.
So.
I love the impulse. I am an impulsive buyer at heart, so I support it.
That's the only reason why I haven't stopped by Tesla. I want a Model 3 Performance, actually, now that I didn't know you drove one, Luke, so that's awesome.
Yeah. So if I was to do it again, I'd probably consider the stealth mode.
Okay.
So you can get like a long range, and you know how they did that electronic update to where you can unlock the performance bonus in that? I think, what is it, like $2,000 or something, get you like 0 to 60 time, half a second quicker or something.
Damn.
So I would just get like a stealth Model 3. You don't get the performance brakes or suspension and a couple of carbon fiber pieces and the wheels, but you get almost the same performance outside of reduced braking, and is my opinion, and probably a more comfortable ride quality. So if I was to do that again, I'd go that route.
Did you spring for the upgraded computer? Did you have any of the driving stuff, or?
So the performance actually comes stock with that. I was tempted to do that. Like, if I can do 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, then it's like, you're maxed out. Oh, okay.
Oh, well then.
What's the range on that performance, Luke? Sorry.
So from the factory, it's supposed to be 310. I've got about 260. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, I went on, that Utah Lake cruise that they had going out here. Kind of a total shit show. I wasn't exactly driving perfect or whatnot. Trying to think of what I was going to show you. But driving like a dickhead, I got 240 miles out of it, and that was not gentle driving.
Nice.
So, right, I think a month after I got it, I took it up to Crater Lake.
We're losing you again.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
I think it's a network issue, not a microphone issue.
Yeah.
Because it's independent from where your microphone is.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a crappy location. Gotta love the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Do what I can to try and boost the signal. But, so right after I got it, I took it up to Crater Lake to try and get rid of the range anxiety that you hear about all the electronic vehicle owners. And with the exception of Reno, everything else was great. Reno was just kind of a shit show. Just, they had 6 superchargers for the whole town of Reno, and Reno's kind of a major hub for when you're traveling that way.
Yeah.
And with I was kind of surprised how quickly the charging was taken. I stupidly logged the data. It was taking me 22 minutes average a stop, and that was actually for bathroom breaks and food, not waiting on the charging. So I was kind of impressed with it. The hell. My other project car, my 93 Infiniti G20, actually have a Tyler Wertenberger. I can't say his shop to save my life. Shujenga Racing or something like that.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. So he's actually building me a wiring harness and a standalone engine management system for it. Doing a couple of other conversions, converted it to drive-by-wire, and I'll actually get traction control.
Nice.
So it'll be really interesting once I get that. And I believe I talked about the engine on the last time I was here. SR20 VET. Should be good for 300 something at the wheels. We'll see what happens. His tuner's super excited about it. He's like, I usually don't get excited about anything, but what you're doing, I'm really interested in.
Nice.
Yeah. Then let's see, the other car, the 93 Nissan Primera T4. At the time, it was the only one in the United States. I think there's been at least 5, probably 10 other people that have stupidly got them. Yeah. You got a G20 that has the all-wheel drive platform out of an R32 GTR, and it just it's unique issues to figure out.
Yeah, it seems like it would be its own fun little nightmare.
Yeah, hubs go out. You have to try and find GTR stuff. It's like almost all the suspension stuff's actually R32, which really surprises a lot of people. You'd think it would just be the P10 chassis for it. It's and now the issue I'm dealing with is I'm having a charging issue. Putting out like 12 volts, actually 11 something, and it's not the alternator. It's not the wiring to the alternator. And I'm like, what the fuck? One of those, maybe just do like the Jeremy Clarkson thing and smack it with a hammer a few times and see if that solves the problem.
There you go.
Yeah.
The hammer is the tool of choice for the CAMcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
Especially if you can get like a ball peen hammer, one like a 4-pounder or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
It's the way
There's a
to go.
cheesy quote I like. It's when in doubt, the nearest tool always doubles as a hammer.
Yup.
Yeah.
Ah.
Then my other two vehicles, I actually bought a Z-turn mower. Totally stoked about that. Took my mowing time from an hour to 20 minutes.
Hot damn.
Yep. Then the other one is my 39 Chevy. Still
Yeah.
got the original drivetrain and everything. Starts
Nice.
up and drives. I'll be restoring that a bit. There's part of the picture I just don't want to show off my
Yeah.
full credit card number.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Get robbed
Could
by
you move
somebody
your
from
finger
Trent.
for me, please?
What does the back look like?
Dead.
That card.
Damn.
What's it look like? A white piece of paper.
Nice. Well,
You need the code. It's 12 fuck you.
damn.
Yeah.
Well,
So
nice.
now that I'm done with school, I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my hands in life.
Well, I think we're all just kind of trying to figure out the same thing. And
Yeah.
yeah. But hey, man, once the apocalypse is over, I think we'll all figure out what to do.
Yeah, because it's like we was talking about before the show. I'd love to just start doing the car meets and that again. ISS, the biggest one in this area, the one show I look forward to, got delayed. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, but it'll be coming around. It's going to be the import spring fall show off.
Mhm.
Import spring show. Wow.
Import
To be
spring.
fair, I have partnered with them for winter events too. Like Jeff Woodiat used to help me do a Toys for Tot drive in Christmas time, so
Oh yeah,
they're always good people.
for sure.
Did we have a topic of discussion or
A
not?
question of the week. We did. What is the most fun, not fun car that you've ever owned?
Ooh, I'll steal this one. Had a 1982 Nissan Sentra.
Oh boy.
Beat
All right.
that thing to holy hell, and it kept driving.
Hmm.
I'd go and rally it, I'd mob it, I'd launch it off curbs, and that thing still ran.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
Zach, what's your choice?
I feel offended by this question because I think you thought of every single car I've ever fucking owned and put it in. Yeah, fuck you.
Oh, I'm sorry. My list of ownership has been nothing but fucking bangers. 87 Acura Legend L sedan, 98 Outback wagon, the mini fucking minivan. Yeah.
No, I was saying,
Forget about Rhonda.
Most of the cars I've owned fit in this category, and it was hard for me to choose just one because there's a lot. And I think the one I have to narrow down, the Mustang's a close second because a car like that you can't care about.
No.
And like
Nor was that car really a whole lot of fun.
Neutral dropping it off of every driveway was a lot of fun. I have photos of me doing burnouts in every park I went to. Most of them, someone has to hold the fender up to get it started, but I did burnouts. I think the final one is the Rally Rolla, which has been talked about on this podcast before. It was, I don't fucking know what year it was. Hold on, let me check my list. I have a list of all the cars I've owned because it's nice to have a list. But I bought the car for $500. No interior. The dash only stayed in place because the wires were hardened, so it would stay in place.
Nice.
And it was fun to do front-wheel drive burnouts everywhere you went, and just like forcing it into understeer situations was the bomb, homie. I can tell you what year it was in. 3, 2, fuck you, phone.
Damn. All right.
It was a 91.
Perfect.
And I took it to Goodwood, or Eaglewood, the Eaglewood Festival of Speed. And I parked it like right next to the entrance. And so many people were giving me like thumbs up. I was like undoing my harness and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Would have been impressive if you got it to Goodwood.
Yeah, I probably would have made it.
Yeah.
I don't think it had a working gas gauge, but
Whatever. All right, Trent, Dad, Tommy, you got a selection for this?
Oh man, my Evo was the worst, man. I don't know. I ran into stupid issues with that car. If it wasn't an intercooler coupling, it was a cracked manifold. It was a clutch. It was a turbo. I replaced that turbo 3 times in that car. The last
Damn.
time it was the Evo 9 turbo in. Went through 2 clutches in that car. Maybe I'm just a terrible driver. I don't know. You know what? The fun car I had, though, I'm not even going to lie, is the freaking the IS250 that I had was amazing.
The thing that
It was
we
fun.
like, the thing when
It
we
was
were going to
absolutely
SEMA that
incredible.
we immediately like blew the fuses in because we put like the big honking like 27 port like
Yeah, we drove
cigarette-
that thing down to SEMA. Oh, man.
Was that the year that we got stopped in the canyon and we're like handing out
Yes.
candy to
Yes.
strangers? Yeah,
we were
that was a good time.
we were trick-or-treating up
Yes.
and down the gorge for like 2.5 hours.
Yep. Good times.
But yeah, I had to say the Evolution was should have been a fun car, but wasn't.
Yep.
I just had stupid issues with it. You know, there was things burning. I blew tires after I got new tires. I don't know. It was dumb. It's a dumb car.
Were all the Evos that came stateside, were they the 4B11? Or
No,
did
you
you have 4G63 at a couple?
yeah, we got the 8s and 9s with the 4G63 and then the 10
Okay.
with the 4B. So,
Okay. It's been a while since I looked into those.
it's all right. Dad?
Oh, geez. For me, it's a car I inherited from my brother that my mom bought him when he was in high school. And he left on a religious sabbatical and gave it to me. 1982 Toyota Corolla sedan
Yes.
poo brown with tan poo brown interior.
Nailed it.
Automatic because it was a grandma car. Bought it with 80,000 miles on it. Thing was rad. We called it Tonto because it never stopped. It just always kept going. I renamed it Shriveled Nuts because it had no power, but it was rear-wheel drive, and that thing was a stuntman's dream. And I went to West Jordan High School, so all my friends had like big 6-inch lifted Chevy C10s, you know, the box trucks and all that stuff. And we would go mudding at lunch, and they would have their huge old trucks and their Broncos, and there I am in my 82 Corolla going through this like 3-foot deep mud pit. Thing just trudged right through. It was just awesome. It's the
Hell
car
yeah.
I learned how to do a J turn in and perfected. That was fantastic. Lost the front bumper while learning to do that. But it's something you have to learn. You know, you got to do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So,
gotta start
yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
82 Corolla. I love that car. So
Nice.
I would love to have one now. I'd slam it down, put it on some Wanatabes, however you say it. I don't know.
Watanabe.
Yeah. Freaking badass. That would be sweet.
Nice. All right. Trent, how about you?
So it probably wasn't considered to be a bad car at the time, but in retrospect, a lot of people hated it.
You say the Viper,
I
aren't you?
loved it. And that was my EP3 Civic Si. Man,
Oh.
that was
Hey, man.
a lot of people hate on that thing, but I had so much fun with that car. It handled really well. It responded well to mods, and you know, I love the sound of the K series, and it was just it was a good car.
Yeah, man. I mean, I still would like to get one of those and put, you know, the good K20 head on there.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I occasionally get a wild hair, and it's like, oh, let's look at what those are going for, and they're inexpensive. But most of the ones you see now are commuters and have like 190,000 miles on them.
It's a Honda. It's just getting broken in.
Just swap a new K20 in.
There you go. Yeah, for me it was definitely the Outback. That thing was a trooper. We had some good times in that thing. Specifically snow drifting. Is that
Ooh,
thing
Yeah.
That thing had some 70 series tires on there, so it was me, Trent, Tommy, Dave, Joey.
Is this the video?
The
Yes.
video.
Yeah, this popped up in the Stancewood video. But yeah, it was me leading everybody through these just pristine, empty parking lots full of untouched snow with my giant 70 series tires just sliding through and then hitting a curb.
Well, there was one point I think that we were trying to tube up behind it or sled behind it or something.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Oh, we weren't trying. People were doing, and I was whipping people into snowbanks. Specifically,
that was up by Cottonwood. I think
yeah, that was. Yeah, I know exactly where that was.
I found the video.
There you go. Yes, thank you, Zach. We'll put a link to the Stancewood video.
I've seen it before, but it's a classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I tore off the side skirt on that bug eye, and I was jumping on it because I was trying to get it out.
I wanted to hold that thing hostage. That side skirt. I wanted to just I just wanted to hold that thing hostage. Trent, why did you just text me?
It's something related to that.
Wow.
That night.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
If that thing is still in the condition that it was last time I saw, somebody way overpaid.
Oh yeah.
Somebody way overpaid.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, yeah, that was the night that we figured out that there was something really wrong with the Viper because it was overheating in the snow. Yep. And now to bring it full circle, Tommy and I are working on it. So
yep, here we go. Come around.
I would like to get it running before I leave. That was the goal. That is the goal. Actually,
yeah, it's got to happen now because the hood is taking up space in my garage. That
precious garage space.
Yeah. Apparently you can't set the hood on top of the roof. It doesn't fit.
Nah.
We tried.
Well, we put the question out there to the people, and here is what some of the people said in Motoring United. Gavin mentioned his little shit, his manual Forester that he is very proud of. But then AJ brought up this stupid little white rental Sentra. So, I mean, AJ, if you want to elaborate on that in the chat, that would be great. Colin Brashler, this garbage being what appears to be kind of a light Safari Cobalt. It has 285,000 miles, but has been dead nuts reliable. Engine, trans, and clutch have never needed any major work. Fast? Hell no. Comfortable? Not even close. But feel like tossing it down a dirt road like you're the next best WRC driver? It's more than happy. I've had more fun getting this thing filthy dirty than basically any car I've ever had. AJ, when I was in Hawaii, me and a buddy went halvesies on a little early 90s Isuzu pup that was basically made of rust. It had a 4-banger and a 5-speed, but no tack. But that didn't really matter because you had to rev it until it hit valve float just to get it going at something more than a light jog. The window rollers were AutoZone vice grips, and the hood didn't shut all the way. But it got us and our beer where we wanted to go, and it did it with the utmost hoopty style. And then Addison Walt, no picture required. But my 98 XJ, bought it for $400 from some hillbillies in Pennsylvania, slapped a head on it from the junkyard, called it a day, dailied it for like 5 months. And then we got some killer responses in the NASA Utah enthusiast group. Let me just bring that up rather quickly. So, let's see. Richard Thiesens, this is gonna hit close to Trent's heart. 2015 Kia Soul passed not one but 2 NASA instructors in Matt Guyver's 350Z. Totally hilarious to drive on the track. And then Andrea Peterson, she had quite the experience. Fiat 500 Pop. It's a pure city car. When it kept to its natural environment, you can have a surprising amount of fun. The body roll just increases the feeling of chucking it around a street corner at essentially legal speeds. Popped my autocross cherry in that thing. Then was told halfway through my second event that the car was unclassable and next time I had to show up in something legal. So I just brought my husband's E46 M3, which is essentially like weaning an infant off breast milk and straight onto Jägermeister. I certainly didn't dislike the M3, but I never really clicked with it like the Fiat. Eventually I traded my Pop for a Barth, which I ran for a couple years before doing the expensive kind of 360. She rolled it. My car wasn't even on the trailer before I was shopping for another. And Vinnie Miller, I drove a diesel Dacia Duster for a couple of months while working in Romania. This thing could take some turns like a champ. Let's see. Where else did I have? Yes, we had some responses from the Utah Association of Euros. Congratulations, Dad. Your people are finally pulling their weight.
Hey, we had a response. Yes.
We had a couple, actually.
Hey-o.
I know.
I didn't even look. I suck.
It's all right. You liked it. That's more than you usually do. So,
correct. True.
Kelly Cox, that's a tough one. My 75 914 2.0 might be the funnest car I've ever owned. It's a close tie between that and my 78 Volkswagen Mark I VR6. Obviously, the Mark I outperforms the 914, but man, that 914 was a blast. Kyle Meekum, 87 Chevy Sprint Turbo.
Wow.
3-cylinder turbo. What up? Floored it
rad.
everywhere and still got over 35 miles per gallon, but it was just so depressing to look at. And Mike Stinson, mucho fun, although a bit slow. He is talking about his Vanagon.
Oh,
Love
such
it.
Versatile cars.
Oh, yeah. And then I had, I believe it was Taylor Hatch. Yes, Taylor Hatch. 1990 Volkswagen Fox. Got it my junior year of high school for $900 from a kid in my math class. It was gutless manual and the heater didn't work. I drove it all winter, rallied it through snow-covered parking lots, soccer fields at the park, allegedly, and it even took out a snowman or two. Ended up blowing the motor and selling it for $500 the next summer. I truly believe the most fun to be had in a car is in a car that you don't give a shit about.
Correct.
Yes.
Truth.
That is 1,000% true.
Preach.
Yes. If you had something or if you wanted to share like a video or a whole bunch more photos, mailbag at camautomag.com, please. We'd love to hear your tales about the fun you had in various shit boxes. Anyway. All right. So we are on to some race news.
And there's actually racing to talk about.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes, we have all sorts of stuff to talk about, including, Dad, some stuff right up your fucking alley.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
We
get to
jump
that.
right into that, or we go into the actual racing that actually
We're going to actually talk
yesterday.
about the actual racing that occurred that I didn't watch because I couldn't be bothered.
I watched some of it. It was actually pretty good. I watched the part where Jimmy Johnson crashed on his own.
Yes.
And then, like, right after the crash, they played that commercial where all the kids write the letter to Jimmy Johnson. They're like, hey, give it one more try. I was like, oh, that's a poorly timed commercial right there. Literally right after he crashed out of the race on his own fault.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, NASCAR has returned. They ran the
Yes.
Real Heroes 400 behind closed doors at Darlington Speedway.
Yep.
And Kevin Harvick got his 50th win in the Cup Series.
Which was pretty awesome because he started way back. They were talking about him, too. He's like, he's getting up there in the years.
Yeah, he was getting up there.
And he won it.
Yep, he did. There were 10 lead changes. There were 10 cautions for a total of 57 laps. Hello, Kitty.
Kitty.
Yep. So,
I still am not a fan of the period thing. And all that
the
bullshit.
stages is weird. I don't like it.
I hate it. It's so dumb. And I'm just
really
like,
is.
all right. Yeah, you're breaking up a 3-hour race. Cool. That's great. But let's
but you're
maybe
not like
race for 3 hours. I don't know. Whatever.
Who knows?
I did fall asleep, though. It was nice to have the sound of racing back so I could actually take a Sunday nap because, man, it was beautiful.
Hey, there we go.
My wife thought I had the Rona. It looked like I stroked out on the couch. I was like hunched over. Are you alive? And yes, I was.
Anyway, we're gonna save the good stuff for last. There's a couple things I want to run over. First, there will be a virtual 24 hours of Le Mans on the actual date that Le Mans was supposed to take place in. It's going to be run in R Factor 2. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen some of the race doing their Legends series, and a whole bunch of old drivers racing in Brabham BT24s, and it is hilarious.
Nice.
But they are doing it in R Factor 2. It's the thing that Jacques Villeneuve has been doing it with an Xbox controller, and everybody else is a full-on sim rig.
He's
just there with
putting up competitive times too. He's like, it's all in the thumbs.
Yeah. So, So that will tide you over until the actual Le Mans race happens, which I believe is happening in September now.
Oh wow!
I just want to double check the date. And September 19th and 20th is when the actual race is going to be happening. But June 13th and 14th, can watch some digital racing.
Or you can jump on GT Sport and do it yourself for 12
Exactly.
hours.
Iron Man it, like they used to do back in the good old days.
Yeah.
Hey, I talked to Mike about this. I was like, let's do this. Let's do a 24-hour race between us. Let's
I do it.
I'll take shifts and
I got the rig. Oh, you mean like a real race or like
yeah.
a virtual race?
A virtual race.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm in on the
But
virtual.
we want it to feel real. So you pee into a bottle while you're driving and all that.
Oh,
Oh
I've
no,
got a catheter. I'm using the catheter right now, actually.
I'm just peeing in the seat. Screw you guys.
We're gonna change. I'm gonna go before you, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bring my own insert.
Dibs. I go for. I'm with you on that one. Before Mike.
Anybody have a
Anyway,
Kiwi I could borrow?
Anyway, but before Le Mans Digital or Real takes place, there will actually be some proper sports car racing taking place in Europe. The WEC and the European Le Mans Series are going to be running a couple of races behind closed doors. The European Le Mans Series is going to run at Paul Ricard at the end of July. And then both the WEC and the European Le Mans Series are going to be running at Spa in August. So there you go. All races will be without spectators. And so hopefully this means we'll get some more racing going.
Yeah,
All right.
it makes sense for my mind because they're social distancing automatically. I mean, they're in a car next to a car, which is automatically 6 feet away.
Oh yeah.
So and they're safe, and they just limit the amount of staff they have on track, and it's fine. So let's go racing.
Oh yeah.
Boogity boogity.
Yep. And then IndyCar may or may not see a third engine supplier in the form of Ferrari.
Yes.
Yes, Ferrari is looking at coming into IndyCar after the 2022 rules come into play, which include mandatory hybrid system.
Yep.
With the 2022 Formula One rules, they're going to have a cost cap, and that means they're going to have a bunch of people that used to work on the Formula One team who no longer need to work on the Formula One team because they can't really afford to pay them. So
yeah. And I love that this is the reasoning behind it, because Ferrari looked at doing this back in the 80s as well. They actually threatened to do it. They actually designed a car.
Yes, they did.
They did. And they didn't. The reason they were doing it is because they were threatening to leave Formula One because the rules were up for changing again. But this time they're not threatening to leave. They're just like, cool, if you cap us at 145 million, I think is what they're at right now, or where they're talking now.
Yeah, I think like 145 sounds right.
It was 175, which they agreed to, and then now they're like 145.
145.
It's like,
Ferrari's like, that sucks because we spend 650 million a year on this program, and we'd have to lay off. And I've been to the F1 facilities there in Maranello. It's a big ass building. It's like 5 stories tall, and it's huge. And the parking lot has hundreds of cars. There's thousands of people that the team employs. And so I love that Ferrari's thinking of doing this. Like, oh, well, we're not going to fire people and throw them out. We're going to actually look at and do something else and maybe be successful elsewhere and redistribute that talent. So I hope it happens. I love where IndyCar's going right now.
Yeah, IndyCar's a very fun thing to watch. And I think it would be real cool to, get a third engine supplier in, but I mean, maybe open it up to have somebody other than Dallara provide the chassis.
Yeah,
that would be.
I mean, Penske he's a huge Ferrari guy. I mean, he's got a long-standing relationship with Ferrari, and now that he owns Indy, now
that he owns a series, I think Roger would be very open to bringing in other chassis manufacturers too. Go back to the glory days, if you will.
Yeah. So and I think the timing's perfect, and I love that Ferrari's like, hey, we've got this talent. It is the city of Maranello is Ferrari. Like, if they lose any bit of employment there, it's going to affect everyone. So it's cool.
Yep. All right, Dad. The reason we brought you on.
Oh, sweet Lord.
All right. There ain't shit going on in Formula One as far as racing goes, but oh my God, has there been a lot of Formula One news?
Man,
was it the reason we brought him on, or was it the reason we enticed him to come back for the night?
I mean, I think that and Tommy really put him over the edge.
Tommy sealed the deal as always.
I didn't know you were going to be here. They should have told me they would have sealed the deal. They would have sealed the deal with me.
Hey, I just need you to drive up every week is what needs to happen. You need to record with us.
He could do this from his house.
No, drive up. Has to drive up.
Okay.
Well, is this? Can we do this curbside too? Because I think
Yeah.
that's what they're allowing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do this curbside. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do a
Just roll
curbside.
the
I'll get
window
outside
down.
my place. Yeah,
Bullhorn.
Nice.
Yeah, you're
I'll
good.
wear,
to
I'll
go.
wear a face mask.
Perfect.
Mandatory through the area.
Nice.
But Formula One, no races have happened
No.
yet. But
No
the
racing.
The silly season is in full swing.
Yes. First, let's talk about this. Hanoi, Zandvoort, and Canada are absent from the revised 2020 calendar. They join Australia, Monaco, and France in the canceled pile. However, we're going to be doing a double at Silverstone.
Yes.
Yep. So as well as Austria. So there are going to be a couple double headers there.
Yep.
And I saw that Singapore was in talks about maybe staying on the calendar. So that's always a fun one.
Yep.
I enjoy it. All right. We had a whole bunch of musical chairs going on.
Oh, it all started with the biggest team in Formula One, the greatest team, may I say, in Formula One, maybe the greatest car manufacturer of all time.
Of course, we're speaking of Renault.
Now I'm going to punch you in the throat. That's a straight dick punch right there.
You set me up for it, though, so perfectly.
I did, and you hit it out of the park. Good job.
Yes.
No, Ferrari. We're talking about Ferrari. There's obviously the relationship between Ferrari and their drivers, specifically a certain driver, has been a little rocky at best for the last 2 years, and I'm talking about Sebastian Vettel. He's out. He's Audi 5000. They're in contract negotiations. His contract's up this year, 2020. Obviously, it's going to be a weird year because no races have even happened yet, and they need to get, I think, 16 for it to be a real season that counts in the points.
Technically, it needs to just be, they need to have 8 championship rounds on 3 continents, and then the FIA will recognize it as
a race,
as a championship season.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And so, they were offering him a lesser contract at a far reduced salary, and he wasn't having it. But I'm happy about it. So he's gone. He's out.
He's gone.
End of 2020, end of this season, he's gone. And there was a lot of speculation who's going to replace him.
Oh,
obviously, Danny Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz were the two.
Yeah, were the two that came
runners.
That came off the top, and
they chose
Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz, which I love. This is the first time since I think 2007 that there hasn't been a world championship holding driver in their car. And that was Kimi. Kimi Räikkönen in 2007 had not won a championship yet, and so he was the one that was that, and he went on to win it that year. So
yes, he did.
So they're going to have a young pairing in Carlos Sainz Jr. and Charles Leclerc.
Yes, and this move makes a lot of sense. More so than Danny Rick moving over there, because Danny wants a championship, and Danny doesn't want to play second fiddle to somebody.
No, that's why he left Red Bull.
Yeah, and so Ferrari was like, well, we have clearly our anointed golden child. We don't want somebody fucking with him. So
Leclerc's on a 4-year contract. Sainz has signed a 2-year starting in 2021. So it's I think there's going to be some options depending on his performance. But
probably,
huge moment for him, and he's actually followed his hero's footsteps step by step. He's raced in every single team that Fernando Alonso has in the same chronological order. It's the same. It's really cool.
Yeah, he started. Because it was Toro Rosso, which used to be Minardi.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Renault,
and then McLaren.
Renault. Yeah, and now Ferrari.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alonso did another stint at Renault in between there, but same
something like that.
And am I skipping ahead if I jump into this part of it?
No, I kind of we'll save that one for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Danny Rick is going to be going to McLaren, a place that he looked at before making the jump to Renault.
Yeah, I saw the interview with Zack Brown, and he was very upfront and very forward, and said, we sucked, and that's why Danny Rick didn't come to us before. But they outperformed Renault every way, shape, or form this last year, and got 4th in the championship. And that was Renault's goal, and they didn't even get close to it.
Yeah, Renault went backwards, McLaren went forwards. So,
and they're going to have Mercedes engines in 2021, so that's huge. They're going to be, I think they'll be winning races again. Yeah,
which will be so very nice.
Yeah, and they need it financially. Let's be honest. We talked about that. So,
and then now you have Sebastian Vettel, 4-time world champion, without a drive next year.
And I've watched a bunch of people talk about him, and they're kind of like they're saying same thing they are with like Fernando Alonso. He doesn't want to go to a team where he has to rebuild.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be the dude who has to he doesn't want to be there for like 3 or 4 years. He wants to be at a place where he could, win reasonably quickly. So,
and there's only one place that could possibly do that, and it's Mercedes.
Yep. Which, I mean, he could go to Renault and just hate life and just finish out a storied career on a very, very sour note.
Yeah, but I think they have their eyes on another driver, and there's, it's interesting how Toto Wolff is handling all this. Yeah. He's like, I mean, they have an agreement with Valtteri through the end of this year, I think.
Yeah, and also they control Esteban Ocon and George Russell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
but he's like the marketability of 2 world champions in one team is undeniable. And so he's even come out and said, we have to take a look at it.
Yeah.
So,
and a German world champion driving for a German team.
Yeah. It would be insane. And the 2 hottest competitors for the last 2 years on the same team, that would be like the the Rosberg Hamilton era. It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So I don't know where, I don't think he's going to go to Renault. To be honest,
there's no way in hell. Like he's either going to go to Mercedes or he's just going to be done with Formula 1 for a while.
Yeah.
Which is also a very real possibility because he said a lot of stuff this off season or this pandemic time of like, well, it's been nice being able to spend time with my family, and it's really kind of gets you to focus on what's really important to you.
Well, he was one of the first drivers on his own airplane out of Australia when they canceled the race. He was like, they haven't even announced the cancellation yet. He was already in the air heading back home to be with his kids. He's like, nah.
Dictatorship, I'm out. Yeah.
Peace. Taking that Gulfstream. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The race on YouTube, they put up a very interesting, it was either them or Autosport. Somebody put up a very interesting video about Sebastian's tenure at Ferrari and how it looked really awesome. And it's like, oh yes, like the dude who wanted him in and everything, it looked like they were going to do what they did for Schumi, but then it quickly, like as soon as he stepped foot in the door, the team principal was out, like everybody was out, and it was suddenly not we're going to build the team around you. It's you're going to work within this team because that's just how it fucking is.
Yeah.
Which is Yeah.
And to be honest, I think him having and being a family man has changed him as a race car driver. I think he's lost his edge. We saw way too many mistakes from him, especially last season.
Oh, yeah.
And Leclerc, who is almost a true rookie, jumps into the seat and has far fewer mistakes. He had more team mishaps, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Ferrari's, famous for not being the greatest team, the greatest strategy team.
Yeah.
And they lived up
to do themselves dirty.
Yeah, they lived up to that in full fashion last year. So, the writing was on the wall, I think, in the abbreviated season that we'll have here. Who knows? He could still achieve his childhood dream and win a championship for Ferrari.
I think that would be like such poetic justice, him winning a championship on his way out the door.
Yeah, but I think part of the reason why Danny Rick, there's rumors that he turned down Ferrari and that's why they went with Carlos Sainz, is because the rumors of their preseason testing was actual fact and that their car sucks such big balls that there's no chance of even getting a podium this season. So I hope that's not true, as obviously a little bit of a Ferrari fan that I am.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just look at your garage.
Yeah, just a couple daily drivers. Anyways, So, I think, and at Mclaren, I think they will steal some podiums in this crazy season that we'll have here and for sure next year. So,
Oh, definitely. All right. Well, there is a seat open at Renault.
Uh-oh.
And, oh, my God, I want this to happen so fucking bad.
Oh, I just can't stand him anymore. But who is it?
Fernando Alonso, man, who won a pair of championships at Renault.
Oh, the Teflon Don. Nothing sticks to that man.
His manager, Flavio Briatore, also a man who has some very interesting dealings in Formula One.
Always associated with Fernando, yes.
Yes. He says Fernando has detoxed from F1 and he's ready to get back in. Yeah.
But to Renault, I mean, would it be any better than when he joined McLaren? I don't think so. I think Renault is a dumpster fire. They're still 3 years away from having a car that's developed and ready.
Yeah. Like
does he want to do it all over again?
Yeah, like Renault is in arguably the worst spot because whereas everybody's had all this time to like build and develop and like have this infrastructure of a Formula One team, Renault hasn't. So like, I mean, even though Williams, a small team, they've been around forever, so they have like everything in place. So it's like, oh, we got to deal with the cost cap and all like ground effects 2.0 and all this stuff. Okay, well, we have all that stuff to figure it out. Renault is like, oh shit, we were getting set up for this, and now we got to do this, and that's a problem.
Yeah, and we have to go fight the board for budget, to actually compete. And Cyril, he's got a life. He's got an expiration date there. I hate to say. So, yeah, I mean, if they get him, it'll be huge. They'll have to do what Renault did of old and cheat and use Nelson
hardcore.
Piquet, get Nelson Piquet Jr. back in to send it on one of the formation laps again. But
hit the wall, baby.
That's why I call Alonso the Teflon Don, because he's actually a very controversial person. Everything that's been big, he's been involved in. The McLaren Spygate, he was one of the narcs, and the cheating scandal at Renault, he was the one who won because of it, but yet nothing sticks to him.
Yeah.
We had this conversation on the Utah F1 page, the Utah F1 Formula One fan page, and we were talking about just Fernando and I can't remember who it was I was talking with. I think it was maybe Brandon Milner or I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up. Apologies for forgetting your name. But he brought up really good points, and I agreed. I said Fernando, I think, is one of the greatest drivers of our generation because he can do things in a car that should not be capable of those things. He can make those happen, and that's how good he is. I don't like the drama that comes with him. And that's I mean, he is absolutely one of the top 3 drivers of our generation. I think it's him, Hamilton, and Schumi. And Senna before them. But that's a whole different story. I think if they can land him, and if they can actually have a car that produces, we could have a 4-car championship, like a 4-car battle.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing.
And we haven't had that since like 2008. 2007? I mean,
like 7, 8, like
05 maybe. I mean, when Fernando won his with Renault, they were running the V10s, I think, in that era. So.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was.
So this is the season to watch. I always say this at the beginning of each season, but we should be in race 5, I think, by now.
Something like that. Yeah.
And we haven't started. Race 1 will be in July, I think, in Silverstone is what they're targeting. I hope. Or
weren't they going to try to do a doubleheader in Austria to kick it off and then
in
Silverstone?
June? Yeah, I think, that's right. So, but it's going to be bonkers. It's going to be nuts. Such a fun season to watch because who knows what's going to happen, It's going to be insane. So watch. And plus it's a short season.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they'll cram a lot in at the end there and do a lot of doubleheaders and whatnot. So,
yes. Good. All right. Well, we don't have a lot of time to get through all of the shenaniganry that I have, and Trent actually
a lot.
Yeah, just a wee bit,
just a hair.
That tends to happen when I come back on. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I blame Tommy and Trent. Just kidding.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so real quick, Trent did do a track daily crush. It is a Ford off. Your options are the Edge ST, the Explorer ST, and the Flex EcoBoost. What are you going to track? What are you going to daily? And what are you going to crush? I'll go ahead and go.
I don't want.
What? All right. Let me read you Trent's here real quick because he sent it to me. Let's see. He says he's going to crush the Edge ST because it's front-wheel drive base. Daily the Flex because I heart it, and race the Explorer ST off-road. So,
I mean, those are options. He's wrong. I would track the ST, the Fiesta ST, all day because
it's not in there.
It's not in there.
What was it? What was the car?
Edge ST, Explorer ST, and the Flex EcoBoost.
Oh shit! All right. Yeah. Well, I would crush them all. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Damn.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to daily the Flex EcoBoost, and then, I don't know, figure out which of the two I hate the least and crush the next two. So, All right, there we go. We're not going to drag this thing any further. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Luke, thank you and congratulations. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been great.
Good. And Dad, it's always been great seeing you. We'll see you in about another 6 months.
Well, when the first race happens, I'll be on for sure.
There we go.
We
You
say
and
now.
James and Pumpkin and everybody. We're gonna get the crew back. There we go. And thank you out there for listening and watching. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, follow us on all the social medias. We're at CAMAutomag on a lot of them. Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/CAMAutomag. Any dollar amount is awesome, and we appreciate it, but $5 gets you into the Cam Super Secret Shenanigans Facebook ship posting group, gets you access to these Monday night live streams where you can get in the chat and get spicy with us. Get you bonus content, get you the podcast early, and occasionally I will just randomly send you something. So there you go. All the more reason to join us, support us on Patreon. CamAutoswag.com is where you go to get your official Cam merch, like the hats that me and Zack are currently wearing. We also have plenty of shirts, and just in time for summer, shorts and flip-flops is available over at CamAutoswag.com. Tommy was here. Him and Trent had to dip, so we appreciated them hanging around. But Tommy is a purveyor of Steady Broke clothing, Steady.Broke on all the social medias, SteadyBroke.com, our longtime sponsor. Head over to SteadyBroke.com, put some of their quality, affordable merchandise in your cart. Use coupon code CAMAuto15 at checkout to save 15% on your entire order. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. Steady Broke clothing. On Tuesdays, we get on Twitch and we play games. This Tuesday, we're going to be playing Rocket League again. If you're, listening to this after the fact, you can head over to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. The last couple weeks worth of streams are archived, so you can watch those, watch us play car soccer and get drunk and hear Kit make wildly inappropriate jokes. So there you go. Twitch Tuesday until we get back to normal. Everybody, thank you for joining us for episode 265 of the CAMcast. I've been Mike.
I've been Zach.
I've been Pizza Dad.
I've been Luke.
There we go. All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
All right.
And we just lost Brandon. Bye, Brandon.
Well, whatever.